We've got a new version of Father of the Bride, this one with a Latinx flair led by Gloria Estefan and Andy Garcia. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new HBO Max film, Father of the Bride. Of course, this is a remake of the Steve Martin film from the 90s, which in turn is a remake of a film of the same name from the 1950s. And I'll be honest, I don't remember who was in that, but I'm sure it was people that were famous at the time. But before we get into my review and the specifics of this movie, I do want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thanks for finding this video. We do all the TV and movie reviews you can handle every week. Put up about 5 or 6 new videos, so check those out, and please consider subscribing down below there. So, Father of the Bride, I will admit, I have not actually ever seen the Steve Martin original. Well, again, you know, that's not the original, but the Steve Martin version. And I was going to do one of my, like, compare and contrast kind of things, but it actually isn't streaming anywhere. So I would have had to rent it, and I just thought, well, I'll just stick with the new one and sort of go in blind. And I knew a little bit about the premise from way back when, but as far as I can tell, they stuck pretty closely with that, but updated it both for the new era with, you know, all the newer technology and stuff, but also, of course, like I mentioned up front, with a different makeup for the cast. We are doing a Latinx version now with Andy Garcia and Gloria Estefan as the parents. That's all I really recognized from the family itself. Now, Chloe Fineman from Saturday Night Live is here as the wedding planner, but other than that, I didn't really recognize anybody else. Adria Arona, Isabella Merced. I have heard of her, so I must know her from something, but she's been in a couple of movies, I guess the Dora movie, and I think she was in one of the Transformers movies maybe. But anyway, the story basically is pretty familiar to, I think, anybody that has seen some of the earlier movies. You know, young daughter is, you know, being taken away from the family and married off. And this guy that she's with, in this particular case, they're going to be moving to Mexico, which, you know, Andy Garcia as the father feels like he's totally losing control because he has a secret of his own, and that is that him and the Gloria Estefan character are getting a divorce. But of course, they don't want anyone to know that, to ruin the big day. So that's what we've got going on here. Look, this movie is all right. The biggest issue I guess I have with it is when I think about, you know, Steve Martin in 91, I mean, that was almost, you know, one of his primes. You know, that sort of late 70s to like early 90s was like the Steve Martin era. You know, most of the things he did were very, very good, very funny. And then I know Martin Short was in at least the second one. I don't know if he was in the first one, but like, obviously, they're very funny as well. Andy Garcia is a very good actor, although I think in his later years he keeps playing a lot of the same type of roles, which I don't love. But I wouldn't say he's known for his humor, and there isn't a lot here to go on there. And then Gloria Estefan, look, I love her singing, of course, who doesn't? But she is not a comedic actress either. And she is actually surprisingly good in this movie as an actress, but she's not funny. And I think that's where the script lets us down the most, is in the humor. When I think about Father of the Bride, you know, one of the things I know about it from that 90s version is that people loved it because it was so funny and so great. And here, I will admit the updated stuff is really nice to see. I think it gives us a lot of really interesting messaging about sort of, specifically, you know, in Latinx communities and families, you know, that importance of family and that importance of history and legacy and all of these kind of things that I would imagine we probably didn't get too much of in the Steve Martin version. So I can appreciate that little update there. And, you know, some of the things that happened were mildly amusing, perhaps, but there weren't ever any lines or scenes that I thought were like that funny. So this is more for kind of the casual, like, okay, let's throw something on and it'll be pleasant and whatever. And yeah, there's a little bit of drama here too. I'm not saying it's a completely, drama-free movie, but in terms of pleasant nature, like, okay, we're not busting a gut here, but this is enjoyable and satisfactory, and that's the thing. I mean, this movie is just fine for what it is, but I do think it could have benefited from maybe some more adept comedians in any of the roles, really. Even, some of the daughter roles, like, for example, and Gloria Estefan did the theme song for this, but that revamped One Day at a Time that they did, that eldest daughter now from that show is in her early to mid-20s now. She could have been, in this lead role of the daughter, and I think maybe would have been a little bit more laugh-centric. Maybe that's not what they were going for, but I feel like they were, because they had a lot of sort of like setups and like physical comedy stuff that for me just didn't land. But the sentimentality is there, and I do appreciate that aspect of it. So I think if you're going to go into it with that mindset of, okay, let's just watch something pleasant that will make us kind of feel good by the end, and yeah, there's some drama in the middle, but certain things, people will realize, family is the most important thing, and blah, blah, blah. All the things we always get in movies such as this. So overall, I thought it was perfectly fine, but I don't know. I would like to go back and watch that Steve Martin version and, reevaluate them as a pair. But for now, I will leave this version, the 2022 Father of the Bride, with a B-. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see everybody next time on Damn Reviews It. Bye.